besties, welcome to a new reading vlog. So in today's reading vlog we will be trying to see if I can finish the rest of my summer TBR in one video. So this is the final episode of our summer TBR takedown, and obviously the first two episodes, episode 1 we read just books by Abby Jimenez, episode 2 we read books and then we read the adaptations. Well, we watched the adaptations, and now I've got around 5 to 6 books left that I need to read before summer ends, and I thought I'd make a little video trying to finish this hopefully by the end of August. Today, for reference, is the 22nd of August, so we don't actually have much time until the end of August, but I've got around 6 books right here. So I'm just going to tell you guys which books we have, and I've actually already started one of them, so we'll talk about that as well. So first up we have A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams. This book I got when I went to go and see her and when I met her in person. Here's a photo for reference. I absolutely loved meeting her and learning a little bit more about this story and black love, and I'm really excited to read this one, especially from when she was talking about it. And this one I have actually already started, so I'm about 33% through. This book features obviously Ricky, and the male main character is Ezra, but we don't really see much of him. So there's kind of like two present like timelines going on. So there's one from 2024 which is Ricky's POV, and then we also have another POV from 1927 I think it is, and it's basically talking about Ezra's like ancestors or like family members. And basically the timeline of this at the moment is obviously Ricky, she is the youngest daughter of quite a prestige black family, and all of her sisters work for the company of their parents and stuff like that, except from her. She's quite a free-spirited person, she loves plants, and she decides to go to New York to open up her own plant shop. And amongst going there, she keeps bumping into this guy in the middle of the night. She doesn't know who he is, and she just finds him very mysterious. She kind of feels herself telling him things that she doesn't really tell anyone else, and we're currently just scratching the surface between them because we haven't really had much like interaction. We've learned more about Ricky, and then we've kind of learned a bit of like the sidelines, like the history of like Ezra's family. I'm excited to see Ezra, like actually his POV, and learning more about him as a character rather than just his family. But it's a good like setup for maybe something that's happening, and I feel like it's a good mixture of like hearing about Ricky, but then we've also got a bit of like history going on. I don't think it's much romance yet. And then next up we have One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I actually have 3 of her books that I have left to finish. This one I don't know anything about, I just know people have raved about it. I think this is the most newest one from her. And then we have Every Summer After, again by Carly Fortune. Again, I don't know anything about this book. All I know is that it's very popular for summer. And then next up we have The Rewrite by Lizzie. So this is another author that I met when I went to see Tia Williams, and she spoke about her book and it made me want to buy it. And the fact that she made me want to buy it like says a lot. So from what I remember, it's like 2 exes, and she has to write like an article or something like that, and she decides to pick him because he's like famous, and I think it's like a second chance. Them two are like having to work together, like close proximity, and yeah, it's like kindling of like old relationship and second chances. So yeah, that's the next book that I'm hoping to read. And then next up, again, this is a book by Carly Fortune. This one is This Summer Will Be Different. I think this is the most popular one by the author from what I've heard, and again, it's a nice summer romance, the fact that it actually has summer in the title. So that is another book. And then last but not least we have My Friends by Frederick Buckman. This is an author that I was recommended by Sarah. I love her videos, and all she talks about is Frederick all the time and how like he pulls out her heart. She talks about how much she's like been fascinated by his books, and I don't really read male authors, like I can't lie, I actually don't, and obviously she made me intrigued, so calling me intrigued, this is going to be another book that I'm attempted to read. And this one I'm really excited to read just from the fact that it's my first book by this author, and I've heard so many great things, especially about this one as a summer, and this one's just gonna, I think, like help balance out the books, because I don't think this one's a romance, I think it's just like a general fiction. So that is the last book, but those are all the books that I'm hoping to read in today's video. We will see, we will challenge myself. Obviously at the moment we are 33% through this book, so I'm thinking if we can get this one done we can like kickstart the books, but I don't know what order I'm going to do it in. I think whatever I'm feeling, I'm gonna read. But I just wanted to do like a little intro to this vlog and to do one last summer reading vlog before we get excited for autumn and cozy season, which I am both excited for. But I'm gonna stop talking for now. I'm gonna carry on reading. I will give you guys hopefully an update later this evening. Bye. Hi guys, I'm here to give you a very quick and brief update. One, because my voice is gone, and two, my throat is hurting me. But I went to a concert yesterday, hence why my voice is so disgusting. But anyway, it's talking about A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by T. Williams. This book, where do I begin? So Tia is definitely took a unique perspective and like a new way of writing about these characters. I compare kind of what she's doing to Ashley Poston's writing, if you've read any of her books, which is where she uses like magical realism. It's not a fantasy book, but it has like a bit of like magic entered into it. Like there's a certain plot line that doesn't necessarily make sense, but like in the book it just adds an element of like fun and excitement. So obviously Ezra, Ricky, they keep bumping into each other, kind of have like a, I don't know, like they're drawn to each other. Ricky has no reason why, but Ezra, he seems to be very, very like aware of her, and like he's like, don't go near me, we shouldn't be near each other. But I think he finds himself not being able to stay away from Ricky, and they had like a little like date, and it was in a restaurant where people were wearing no underwear. Like all the servers had no underwear because apparently it heightens the like culinary experience. I'm not sure, but like seeing them like actually connect and have a conversation, I think is really interesting. She's now kind of finding out some things that we kind of found out. And before I was wondering why it kept switching up between like 1925 or 1928 to like now. And then they kept talking about like Ezra's like family. But it's actually like, I don't want to spoil it, but like it's like a massive like link to like the present tense, like literally massive. And I don't know how this is going to end, because kind of what we found out can kind of like end in disaster. But we're like 60% through now, so I'm planning to finish it today because I just really want to like finish it, find out more. So yeah, that is my update for now. I'm gonna carry on reading, hopefully finish it today, maybe give you guys like one other update, or maybe just like speak to you guys once I finish. And yeah, that's really it. I'm gonna stop talking now because my voice is disgusting and I hate it so much. I just can't. So I finally finished A Love Song for Ricky Wilde, and yeah, like it ended how I thought it was gonna end, but I didn't expect like a certain bit to just hit me as hard as it did. As you guys saw, I love the way Tia William White writes. Like, I always say that the way she writes is just so beautiful. Even the things that you might not be necessarily as interested in, she makes you enjoy them. Like, especially the history stuff. Like, I've always been someone that's been really interested in like history, and learning about like something like the Renaissance in like New York. I don't know about that. I'm from London. I don't really know much of the history of like New York, and to like learn more about that and like the black culture, and especially like on Ezra's POV of things that were like happening in those times, it's very interesting to like read about, and the way she ingrains that like in the story. At first I was like, why are we being fed this information? But when we kind of learn more and we kind of go further through the story, I start to understand more what it's about. But I do enjoy the magical realism element, and I love the fact that, especially with like Ezra, even long before he met Ricky, he was having literal dreams and like flash moments of like seeing her, like not knowing who she is, but seeing a glimpse of a person, and that like he wrote a song for her long before he ever met her. And like at first I was like, where is the bit about Love Song by Ricky Wilde? But I also, as it progressed, I was like, okay, now I understand where the music element comes from. Ezra is very music based. He's a musician. He's always been a musician. And yeah, just to find out I think that was going on was quite satisfying. I will say I wasn't as like attached to the characters. Like, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, they're my babies. I feel like I was more attached to Miss Della, who major plot line. Like, I did not know that she was going to be as important to the story as she was. And I just think she was just such a beautiful old lady. Like, she took Ricky in when even her own family treated her like trash. She took her in and took her as her own granddaughter. And I just love that. And I just love how Tia like writes. She can make anything interesting, and I think she definitely did that with this book. I think rating, I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. I don't think it's above 4 stars, but I don't think it's less than 4 stars. And yeah, as a whole, I enjoyed it. It was good to read and fun to read. Well, not fun, but interesting to read. I wish there was a little bit more development of Ezra and Ricky. Yes, I know that he's been dreaming about her, he's been waiting for the moment to meet her and stuff, but I just felt like there wasn't enough scenes of a development of relationship. It kind of felt insta love, but you know it's not insta love. And yeah, that is kind of what I'm thinking and how I felt about this book. Now we're going to go on to our next book. I've decided that I want to read a more of a summary one. I don't think this one was as summary, and that is no other than Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I did a bit of browsing, and obviously I've got 3 books. This summer will be different, and then One Golden Summer, and apparently this one and One Golden Summer is like interconnected almost. I think like the characters like overlap, and I also found through browsing that this book is getting turned into a TV series. So I was like, right, I think we should read this one first. This one came out not most recently, the one that came out first out of all of them, and I'm looking for a summer romance and feels. From all I know is that it's a second chance romance. I'm going into it with no expectations. I don't know anything about Carly Fortune's writing. Again, I'm going into it blindly. I've heard about her, but that's literally it. And yeah, that is kind of what's going to be my plan. So this is going to be book number 2. Let's see if we can read it. Let's see what I think of it, and I will speak to you guys very soon. excuse my voice, guys. I still haven't recovered. Like, it's been 2 days at this point and my voice still sounds like this and it's annoying me. But anyways, I've started Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and this book is so easy to read. It just flows. It's like a lot of dialogue, but then we also have a lot of like inner speech from our main character. So this one features, her name is like Persephine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm going to call her Percy because that's her nickname. So this book features Percy. Every summer she goes to her parents' like a beach house, and the first summer she goes there, the neighbor is basically this woman and her 2 sons, and she ends up becoming friends with the younger son Sam. And basically like every summer she goes there, and basically something happened like 12 years ago, so she's now 30, but something happened when they were 18 which basically caused her to like no longer go back to this area called Barry's Bay. And basically she ends up having to return following a tragedy, and amongst going there, obviously she's going to have to face Sam again, and she doesn't know how to feel about it because she feels like there was things that was left unsaid. And I just love the fact like how easygoing and easy flowing this book is. I love the flashbacks. I feel like it's just really interesting in her story. This reminds me of, what was I reading? This reminds me of a few authors come into my mind whilst reading this. Emily Henry, Lynn Painter. I would say Lynn Painter for like how easy it is to understand. Like the words are very easy. There's no like sophisticated language where you're like, huh, I don't understand this. I think there's anything too deep and emotional in this story yet. And I'm enjoying just how easy it is to read and just how fun it is and just calm. Like I wouldn't say it's like fun or exciting, I just say it's just relaxing to read. A bit like when I was reading The Wedding People, this one just feels so easy to read, and I can feel the summer like vibes like just bursting out of this book. So that's kind of my update so far. I really like the 2 characters. I'm gonna carry on reading. We don't actually have long left because it's 108. I'm nearly like halfway soon. My goal is to maybe finish it today, I'm not sure, but I'm literally planning to just like binge this. And because it's so summery, I just don't want to put it down. Like I literally feel like I have not put this book down. I started it yesterday evening, went in bed. As soon as I got up, I listened to the audiobook, listened to this, and I've also been doing like the immersive reading setup where you listen to the book and the audiobook at the same time. So yeah, that's my update. I want to stop yapping because my throat is now killing me, and I will speak to you guys later on.
In the corner of the crowded room, your eyes meet mine. Conversations fill the air, lost in space and time. I don't ask for your name, it's already carved in the air. I won't lie, it's already.
I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. That was so good. This book, guys, was so good. I keep like replaying scenes in my head. I just love these 2. Percy, I just think this girl went through a lot. I think she overthought a lot of things that happened as well. When we finally find out like what happened between the 2, why she stopped speaking to him, you're like, oh my god, like even I was shocked, but I kind of like hinted at it, like I felt the vibe, but I did not realize that Sam would, I don't want to spoil it. Sam already knew the secret basically. And yeah, this book is just so beautiful and just so summery. Like I felt like I was in the midst of summer in a lake house in like this like small village, I don't even know, and I wish I was there myself. And this book was so good. I loved Percy and Sam. They were just so freaking cute. I don't think it's got as much like emotional depth as like some of the other books. This does deal with like grief and the loss of a parent, but it's not in like a very, very heavy way. I feel like the author kept it quite light. Obviously there's themes without, but its focus is definitely more on the relationship between Sam and Percy, and I just loved it. I gobbled it up. So in terms of rating, I think I'm going to give this book a 4.5. It was so close to a 5 stars. The only reason it wasn't a 5 stars is I would have loved to see more of Sam's POV, because it's just in her POV. 2, I just think that I didn't have the 5-star feeling. Like, I was enjoying the book, but I wasn't like it's anything like amazing. I was attached to the characters, but not like fully invested in like everything. Like, I was invested in their relationship like 100%, but I feel like it was, I don't know, it was just so fun and summery. Like, that's all I could really say. Like, I don't think it's anything more than that. And now, moving on, our next book I think I'm going to read is One Golden Summer. So I'm reading this one because it's based off Charlie, who is Sam's brother. And Charlie's a character that not many people liked from when I was researching it, but I generally liked his character. Like, he definitely did things in this like book that you were like, okay, maybe not, but I think his general personality I really loved. I think he was really there for Sam despite everything, being an older brother, and I'm excited to see how he goes through everything with grief and that. But I'm not sure if we're gonna get like his POV or maybe the female main character. I know this book has Alice. I don't know anything about Alice because she hasn't been anyone that's been in the book prior, but I'm excited to see like what his story holds, and maybe learning more about Charlie as an individual, because obviously we only learned about him through the lens of Percy. So this is going to be our next read. I'm excited to get straight into it. I'll come back very soon to give you guys a update on how I'm doing. So yeah, let's get to reading. So I have obviously officially started One Golden Summer today. I am just over 100 pages. I'm on page 16. No, I'm not on page 16. I'm on chapter 16, page 109. So this book features obviously Charlie, who is Sam's older brother from Every Summer After. And we also have Alice. She's our female main character. So Alice has decided to go to Barry's Bay when she was younger. Basically, she used to go there all the time, and one of her favorite moments was taking this photo of actually Charlie, his brother, and Percy. Obviously she doesn't know who they are, and that basically kick-started her like photography journey. And when her nan injures herself, she decides to take her nan back to there to see if she can lift her spirits. And amongst going there, she meets Charlie. Charlie has been enlisted to come and help them to make sure everything's all ready for the nan. And obviously from Every Summer After, knowing Charlie already going into this, he is just like, I love him even more in this. I think you just really get his time to shine. Like, he's very cheeky, very golden retriever, and I love that. Alice definitely needs him in her life because she is very like, she has a very structured life. She thought her life was like A to B to C, not thinking that things could just change instantly. She just got out of a relationship where she got dumped, and she's also just finding herself at the moment. So obviously she meets Charlie, and we've had like a few scenes now with them two. They've just had a scene where they've been on like a jet ski together, and they're just so cute. I just love the banter between the two of them. So far I'm really loving this book. I'm loving the vibes, and I'm excited to continue reading. But I wanted to give you guys kind of an update on my initial thoughts of the book, and yeah, I'm really excited to read it. I think these books are just so comfy, they're really cozy, and you just don't expect a lot from them, but that's what is enjoyable. Sometimes you have these books where it doesn't have to be as an emotionally depth as you need it to be. Sometimes it just needs to be a nice summer read, which is what I'm feeling. So yeah, I'm going to carry on reading. I will speak to you guys probably tomorrow, or when I next feel like I have an update for you guys. But for now, I'm really enjoying this book, and I can't wait to continue reading One Golden Summer. So I will speak to you guys soon. Guys, I am coming to you live from the studio, and no, what the hell? I don't even want to show you guys, like I don't want to ruin it, but what the hell? Carly, what have you done? I'm now nervous. This book was going so well with like how like relaxing and summery it is, and now it has taken a turn, and I hope that's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say anything more. I don't want to ruin it, but I'm really nervous right now. I'm really scared, guys. I'm really scared. Oh, I will see you guys on the other side. Live from the studio, we are back. I have finished One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune, and guys, where do I even begin with this book right now? This book was everything and more. I obviously, you guys know I loved Every Summer After. I gave it 4.5. And this book, going into it, I already knew who Charlie was. He was a character that we didn't get much of, but when we did, he wasn't like the best character. He was quite a playboy. And obviously, as I spoke earlier about him and Alice and everything that went on, these two were like opposites, but they work so well. Like, she's typical like shy, like wildflower girl, and then he's like the classic playboy, the golden retriever energy, and these two become friends so quickly, but in such a beautiful way. There's so many scenes throughout this book of them two connecting and spending time together. I think one of my favourite moments is them going out on the boat, having conversations. Obviously him being able to open up about stuff with his mum and his dad, and losing them at such a young age, and his difficulties. And this book has put me through emotions. I think I spoke to you guys a bit earlier yesterday, and then today reading another bit. Like, we've had kind of like two heart-wrenching moments where I was like, no, please do not do this to me. And I love this book. Charlie was just perfect. Like, I just love him. Like, I actually love Charlie so much, and I may say I do love him more than Sam. I'm sorry to say this. So I think you guys can guess what I'm going to give this book. I think I'm going to be giving it a 5 stars. It was just so beautiful. It was like some of the little quotes that I got. amazing. Like, obviously I mostly read it on my Kindle because I managed to get it on my Kindle, but I've got a lot of annotations that I'm planning to obviously put in the actual book. And just the way Charlie was given such a safe space to open up, because I felt like he didn't feel like he deserved much in life. I think through everything, and especially how he was as a child, as a teenager, he thinks that a lot of the things are his fault. He doesn't deserve love, and he tries to push Alice away so many times. And Alice is one, like, at first she was like, oh my gosh, he doesn't want to be with me, blah, blah, blah. But then she was like, actually, he needs someone in his life that's going to tell him, no, I'm not leaving you alone. And that is what she did. And I just love these two so much. I loved this book. So we have finished it. First 5 stars of this video. And now we're going to go on to our next read. Obviously, I'm not going to be starting this book tonight, purely for the fact that it is currently 11 o'clock at night. So we're going to save it for tomorrow, but our next read will be The Rewrite by Lizzie. So this is the cover. I spoke about it before. It's 2 X's, 1 story. She has to write a story and she writes it on her ex. And, you know, what's going to happen? Why did they break up in the first place? And, you know, I want to see how that's going to progress. And I will give you guys an update very soon. Tomorrow I am heading out to Newcastle to visit my friend. I'm hoping to like give you an update whilst I'm at my friend's still, even if it's just like one little one. Probably won't be taking my camera, I might just do it on my phone, but I'm hoping to still give you an update. If I don't, I will give you guys like a final review when I come back from my trip on Sunday, if it's not too late. But our next read will be this one. I feel like we're getting to it. I want to see how much I can read and like when, because currently it's the 28th of August. We have 3 days left of August, which means we have 3 days left to see how many books we have to read. And I feel like we're doing quite well. We're halfway through the stack, but I'm going to stop yapping and I will speak to you guys hopefully tomorrow. Update time. I have started The Rewrite and I'm literally looking over here and I've got like 3 separate things in front of me. I have the actual book, I have the audiobook that I've been listening to, and then I've also got my Kindle that I've been reading on. So obviously I started The Rewrite this morning actually, and I'm actually whizzing through it. I'm currently on chapter 10, page 101, so about 100 pages in the book. And this is not a very long book, to be fair. It's like 300 pages long. And obviously in this book we meet Temmie. Temmie is a writer. She used to be in a relationship with this guy called Wade. Wade? Whale? I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly. And she used to be in a relationship with him, but they broke up and he ended up going on a reality TV show. And basically she ends up getting invited to be a ghostwriter for celebrities' memoir, but she doesn't know who it is until she finds out that it's, oh behold, her ex-boyfriend. And obviously she doesn't know how to feel about it. And in terms of them two as a couple, we have gotten a few flashbacks to like when they first met, when they became a couple, obviously why they broke up, which we actually find out quite early on, which I really like. And what I'm really enjoying about this book as well, one of her being a writer and the process of writing a book, but also the fact that she's a plus size black woman, and she has often found like she has been looked down upon because she is bigger, especially when it came to Will, because he is quite attractive, he's got tattoos, he's obviously been on a reality show, and obviously throughout the relationship, even before we went on the reality show, like she always felt like sometimes not as good enough because of like how she was looked upon, not because of like her herself, but she would look at how people would look at her and him and think, oh my gosh, I don't suit him. So I'm really enjoying these two as a pair. Like, I don't like Wade at the moment. Like, Temmie, I really enjoy her. So far, I don't like the main male character. I just don't like him. I just think he's an F-boy, I'm not sure. We're probably going to learn more about him. And I think at the moment, Lizzie is definitely throwing out some stereotypes amongst obviously people and like how black men are seen, especially like in reality TV. And obviously Temmie is trying to write this story without trying to be too connected to him. And yeah, that's kind of what the premise is, what's happening at the moment. I'm 32% through. I'm not going to be giving much of a verbal update. Might hopefully try to do one more update, just because I will be not home over the weekend. I'll be with my friends. If not, and I end up finishing the book before then, I will obviously speak to you guys and tell you. I've also brought in This Summer Will Be Different with me, just in case I do finish this on my trip. I feel like I can finish this today because I have a really long train journey. So yeah, I will speak to you guys very soon.
Passarinho na janela e o fusquinha na calçada, bicicleta amarela e o calor de madrugada são lembranças de nós dois. Vai você, eu vou depois. Deixa a porta aberta.
So guys, nice to speak to you guys. So today is actually Tuesday and it is the end of our challenge, or my challenge, of trying to finish my summer TBR by the end of August. Today is actually Tuesday, the 2nd of September, and just a bit of an update because I don't think I've spoken to you guys since Friday. But obviously I was reading the rewrite and I finished this on Sunday, I believe, or Saturday, can't remember. And then I obviously started off This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. Wale and Temmie, they obviously exes. This has definitely got like a Love Island kind of like vibe. If you love Love Island and you love like the reality TV, and then you also love like the second chance romance, I think you would love this. I think it would be really fun. I don't think this is my favourite book. Like, I don't know how to put it. I think with the two main characters, I felt them better as a friendship than an actual like romantic relationship, and there are some things that even she didn't know throughout the relationship. So I think in terms of rating, I'm gonna give this one a 3 stars. Don't think it is bad at all. I just don't think it's my favorite black romance that I've ever read. And then I started off This Summer Will Be Different on my way back from Newcastle. Currently 50% through this book. I am on chapter 22, page 179. In this book we have Lucy and Felix. I think I'm thinking about Alice from One Golden Summer, but obviously this is Carly Fortune. This is obviously the 3rd book that I've read by her, and this one I wasn't really sure of like how I was going to feel about this, because I know this was like best friend's brother, but the way they started it, I just wasn't a fan. Basically, our two characters meet each other on a whim. They sleep together, and then she basically realizes that's her best friend's brother, and basically agreed to not do it again. And basically every year that she seems to go back there, she sleeps with him. And I will say that at the moment this relationship is purely intimate. They haven't really had any deep conversations and spent any time together outside of sleeping together, but obviously there is more for us to learn. But despite that, I'm really loving the plot of the fact that Lucy is obviously, there's this thing that's kind of happened with her best friend Bridget. She doesn't know what's happened, but Bridget has invited her down to spend time with her and her brother, and basically she's due to get married, Bridget, and Lucy's like, why did my friend all of a sudden want to meet up, even though like we're really close to her wedding day? And her friend's being very suspicious, and obviously she's got to be surrounded by Felix again. She doesn't know how to feel. On one hand, she's just like, we can't be together, we can't speak together, like it'll break my relationship with Bridget. I think I was like page 100 by the end of Sunday, so the last day of August. But obviously I wanted to end this challenge today because I didn't want to cheat, and I will say that I have failed the challenge. I obviously had 6 books that I had to read, but I wasn't able to read My Friends by Frederick Buckman, and obviously I haven't completed this. And yeah, I enjoyed the books I read this last few days of August. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and reading these books with me. If you've read any of them, let me know what you thought about them. And that will be it for today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, obviously make sure you give it a like, a comment and subscribe. And I know YouTube now do this thing where you can hype people up, their videos, if you enjoy them, so feel free to do that if you want to do that. That is going to be it for today's video. Stay blessed, guys, and as I always say, I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, my loves.